Keep it going for Erika. Everyone. I know you.
Thank you. Thanks. So how many of you have ever had that moment where you're sitting in your cubicle at work, looking out the window to try to see whether the grass really is greener, but then you notice you have no window, and you're just staring at the same TPS report over and over again? How many? Yeah, we're in DC, that's what I thought. Right, so that's me. I always take the practical approach. When I was little, all of my friends were playing with Barbie, and I was doing word arithmetic. I studied economics in college because I thought it would make me more marketable after school for a job. And after college, I took a job in finance because I thought, it seemed like the secure, stable thing to do. I took a job at Fannie Mae, so seemed would be the key word there. So I'm sitting in my cubicle staring at yet another spreadsheet, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And I try to think, what could I do with my life? What am I really good at? And okay, math and spreadsheets, fine, been there, done that. I'm good at talking, which depending on who you ask could be good or bad. I'm good at making matzo ball soup, but I don't really know if I can make a career out of that. There's one thing I'm really good at, though. Online dating. I am a rock star at online dating. I started online dating in 2001 when nobody did online dating. I remember I told my parents I was going on a date with someone I met online, and naturally they flipped out thinking I was gonna meet a killer or a stalker, or worse, someone who wasn't Jewish. So I did online dating on and off for a number of years, had various relationships, took breaks every once in a while, and then I thought, I think I can combine a couple of my interests. So, like any good economist, I kept a spreadsheet of my online dating experience. It was a pretty elaborate spreadsheet, too. It had conditional formatting in there, VLOOKUPs, the works, right? So I kept track of my response rate, so for the guys I emailed who responded back to me, what percent, and I kept track of my conversion rate. If we were emailing back and forth, how many dates could I get from that and convert? So I actually learned a lot from this experience. I learned what made online dating more successful. And then my friends started noticing that I was doing pretty well, and they're like, well, what are you doing that I'm not? Maybe you could write my profile for me. Maybe you could help me choose my pictures. How can I get to a date faster? And I was helping them, and I was having a really fun time doing that. So back to my cubicle. One day after work, I had to run to the supermarket, and I run into a coworker who I hadn't seen in a few years. And we have our niceties, and he says to me, "Are you still at Fannie Mae?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why, are you?" And he's like, "Yeah," but he looks at me funny. And I'm like, "Why do you ask?" And he's like, "Well, I just didn't think you'd be there." And I go, "Well, what do you mean?" And he goes, "Well, this is my career. It's not, I didn't think it was your career." And I go, "Well, what did you think I'd be doing?" And he goes, "I don't know, stand-up comedy?" Well, clearly I'm no stand-up comedian, but I'm sitting back in that same cubicle staring at another spreadsheet, and in probably the scariest and most rewarding moment of my life, I gave notice that I was quitting Fannie Mae. And I can't say now that I'm a professional public speaker, and I'm definitely not making matzo ball soup for a living, although that would be delicious. I can say, though, that I quit my job And 5 years ago, this April, I started my own business called A Little Nudge, helping people with online dating and making them more courageous in their own dating lives. So I can say, as a fact, the grass is greener on the other side. I'm just glad I found the window to see it. Thank you.
Erika E., everyone!